What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Outside the Clutch. Thanks for hanging out with us. Tonight, we're going to have a lot of things get talked about. Potentially some things we see in the hobby that or industry that may need to get changed or potentially get changed. But before we get into all that, I would like to thank everybody that's out here today. Luke, I see you. Matthew, I see you. The Pet Shop. Thank you all for joining. I know other people are joining in as we go. Before we get started, I just want to do a huge thank you to our sponsors. So we're going to run that for you right now. Make sure you check them out. Here at Outside the Clutch, we're honored to be sponsored by VivTech. Are you ready for innovation? Tired of the same boring product that's been used for 30 years? Ready to give your reptiles and amphibians the UVB they really deserve? Then look no farther than VivTech. Their 3-watt LED bulb provide the UV rays your animals have been missing. With 3 bulbs to fit your pet's climate needs for optimal husbandry, plus a dimmable feature, and it's the only bulb with a 2-year warranty in the industry. So what are you waiting for? Go to vivtechproducts.com today. Use code FCLUTCH0322 for 10% off to provide your animals the best care they've ever had. All right, so tonight, let's get to it. I've made this man wait for a little while. I've had the joy of talking to him at a couple of shows. We talk off and on the internet. Just an outstanding dude. He's not a bullshitter. He's going to tell it straight as he thinks it should be, which is what I appreciate about him and the way I think everyone should be. So put your hands together, give some love to Mr. Randy Foster from Dark Cloud Reptiles. What's up, brother?
Well, you said about having a good guy and all that. I was like, damn, fuck. I thought he forgot it was
It's over. Wrong fucking
like,
person.
Yeah, well, Chad was coming on. He said he was going to be showing his butt crack.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to tune out. Yeah. So he's been spending way too much time down there at the Blue Oyster. Poor guy. So, what's funny, and I hadn't even realized. So at Arlington, you were doing live right freaking across from me.
Yep.
I didn't even realize it. Like, people don't realize how I space out at this stuff. And we did the first Arlington. I missed you. I was talking to you and apologizing. I was like, dude, I don't know what happened. I just brain
it
farted.
happens, bro. So that's one of the things I love about the shows, though. Like, you get so wrapped up, especially myself. My wife actually gets pissed at me. Like, it gets to the point, and I'm not gonna lie, so I give her like the first half of Saturday, and I see what everyone has, what they're doing, how their show's going, and I plan all the filming for like Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning, right? And that's the way it usually goes. So once like lunchtime hits on Saturday, my wife hates to be around me because I'll be like, okay, here's the camera, let's go, we got to do this. And I go into work mode, and it's just like I'll sit there and I'll talk and talk and talk and talk. She's like, I just want to go look at animals, or I want to go hang out here, or I want to go do this. I was like, no, like, I'm here to work. I drove 12 hours to work. But I get the same way, man. And I get a lot of people that are like, I saw you, but I didn't want to interrupt you. And I was like, come up. That's what I'm at the shows for. Like, come get that face to face with me. Otherwise, I'm not going to remember.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of almost like you. It's funny because I don't think I had ever attended a show. I think I attended a show back in like 2002. Other than that, all I've done is vend. So for me to go to a show, I remember in 2018, I went to Tinley, and I just went just to hang out. And the people I went with, they left. I walked around. So true story. I went in, and before it opened, I went hunting for puzzles. And Ozzy had a couple. I think that one other guy had a couple behind the counter that he hadn't even put out for sale. And Marshall from NOCO. he was the only one that had some on his table. Yeah, and I went back and forth and hemmed and hawed, and then all of a sudden I hear the announcement, the doors are opening. It's like, oh shit! All right, I gotta do something here. So I looked at Marshall. I'm like, all right, man, how much for all of them? And throw in those couple clowns, and it was like 28 grand. I was just like, do it. I just done. And he's like,
Jesus,
like 10 minutes in, and he's like, okay, I'm ready to go for the weekend, But then after that, I walked around. I looked the entire show. Like, they were kicking us out, and I wasn't done looking. I was like, how do I do that? Like, I'd never done that before. It was crazy. So
I've never been up to that show, but I know it's like that at the super shows as well. Like Pomona, before it moved from that one auditorium, was semi manageable. But from what I hear, Anaheim, you can't even you have to actually plan your vendors that you want to hit. There's no way you're going to see everything in that show.
it's crazy. I mean, I tell people you really have to go to a super show. It's like, I'll go to a super show. I was actually front row, like September, I think it was, in Anaheim.
Okay.
And I didn't sell very many animals. And even the promoter was like, hey man, I'm sorry. I'm like, Rami, dude, you gave me more publicity than I'm going to get anywhere else. And you can't, people need to realize, if you're going to vend, you can't cry or whine or complain if you don't sell stuff, because you're advertising. You're out there for your brand. And
Right.
You go to a super show, I tell everyone, I mean, he puts on the best show, hands down. And where else would you want to go spend a January other than Southern California? I mean, right across the street from Disneyland. The kids can all go and play. But the thing is, for people that want to go buy animals, it's the largest show in the world. Like, the world, not in a region, the world. 3 football fields. Like, yeah, your competition's a little stiff. I think there's probably about 700,000 ball pythons there. So
Easily more than that, man. Like
yeah,
3/4 of that show's ball python breeders.
yeah. So it's for someone that's going to go buy. It's a buyer's market. They're everywhere, but you get to see stuff you don't see anywhere else. And yeah, it's a great show. I tell everyone, that's, if they're ever going to go to one show, go to that one.
Nice. That's actually, so it's the second show I ever attended. So like back in the day when I was a kid, we attended, me and my friend attended, I want to say it was Phoenix. Some little, I don't remember if it was a Repticon or what it was in Phoenix back then. Like we're talking 20 years ago. I don't even know what shows were around back then, to be honest. But so she drove me out there with her dad, and I was into reptiles, and I had never seen that side of it. So we went there. We were there for the weekend, came back, and then I didn't go to another show for 15 years. Got out of the army. Was like, oh, I want to do reptiles full time. Like, this is what I want to do with my life. I want to be around reptiles again. And I looked at my wife and I was like, I heard about these shows because of watching like Cusco and Miguel and people like that, right? When I first started out in the industry, I was like, well, there's a San Diego super show. Let's go there because I have a friend that lives in San Diego. And that gives me an excuse to see them as well. So, hey, it's like a 2 birds, 1 stone type thing. So we go down there. I get to see him, and we do like the what's that statue called? The at the
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
the Navy sailor
right
coming
there
off
at
the
the midway.
boat and just grabbing
Yeah,
a girl. Yeah.
right.
And so we mimic that, and we go eat at the little seafood place right next to it, which is some freaking amazing food. And like I actually ordered something that wasn't on the menu. I essentially created my own meal, and they just figured out what the cost would be based off of whole product. Because I was like, well, I don't really want this. I don't really want this, but let me just get a whole bunch of like shellfish on pasta with red sauce. That's all I want.
Right.
And they're like, so they do it up and they give me a price. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. A bunch of craft beer. It was it was a really good experience. And then we go there and run into IDR and a bunch of other people in like Southern California. That's where I first met Unbelievables, who has been like Todd and Jody have been a huge part of my whole experience in reptiles. So really love those guys. And then the next month I turn around and I find out that there's a Pomona, right? So it's like, hey babe, what would you feel about driving 12 hours again next month? She wasn't too happy about it, but we made that happen too. And like, oh, Pomona's scary as one of your first shows. Like if you're not ready for a crowd, it's gonna take you back. But it's an amazing experience. Like once you get past the crowd size and like the fact that there's just so many reptiles and trying to find something very specific besides ball python. Oh, sorry. New watch.
All right.
Still trying to figure this thing out. But trying to find everything besides ball pythons was really hard because you don't know who the vendors are out there yet or things like that. But ball pythons galore. But that's great. Yeah, the Randy standing up thing, Chad, is probably going to be towards the end. I wouldn't want to unveil Captain Underpants too early. We still might have a couple of youngins watching.
See, so the funny thing about that is there was actually even a little bit of heat coming about that today. And so where that all started?
Yes and no. You kind of told me the story when we were at Arlington, but
okay, so I did I ended up doing a live for the Reptile Ward, Chris Ward.
right.
And we talked back and forth before. So I was sitting at work and I came up with this list of rules. I'm like, all right, I got to do this. So I made just this ridiculous list of rules. And I was like, okay, how am I going to segue into his rules? I'm not going to just come up and go, hey guys, look, here's his rules. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to be in my underwear. And bright orange underwear so people would see it. I'm like, me in my underwear, I'm going to go get a beer and someone will ask about my underwear. I'm like, I just know somebody will. Like, Chad would drool, but that doesn't do me any good. I need someone to say something. And so they did. And I pulled up these rules. I go, look, they're on these rules. And Chris, literally, he says, what the fuck do you have? He goes, I didn't send you anything. And I'm reading him his rules. And he actually at one point spit his drink out all over his laptop. And it was cool. He wanted to leave at an hour and a half. I started because he was hungry. I basically made fun of him and made him stay for 3.5 hours. And then in the end, when he was trying to leave, I just hung up on him. And it was pretty funny. It was a good time. Got him really, really drunk. And so from there, at the Super Show, Troy came up.
Right.
He had on his loud jacket. I had on loud underwear, so we did it. And then it took off. It was the next show. I told Troy, I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I'm like, I don't want to be known as the underwear guy. And then
I think it's a little late for that, brother.
I know. I took pictures. It was me, JT, Eric, and Daniel. And I started getting comments going, why do you guys have pants on? And it's guys and not Chad. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I went over and I did the picture with Troy and John. And so then now with this last one at Tinley, I'm like, I told him same thing. I said, nah, Troy, I'm not going to do it. Like, I don't want to be known as the underwear guy. Literally, I was leaving and Scott was changing his shirt and he goes, Randy, here, I'm all dressed for you, whatever. I'm like, oh, fuck. I ran over, took a picture with him. And, somebody sent him some mail and said, hey, That's nice. This is a family show. I'm like, come on, man. It's a guy without a shirt and a guy in his underwear. Like, you see more of that at a beach.
Right.
Like,
have you never watched the Summer Olympics?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, me and Troy did it before the show opened.
Right.
And so, I mean, I don't know, I'm kind of torn. I halfway want to get away from it now because, like I said, it was meant to be a joke, but now to see there's people hating on it, it's like, I almost want to be like, grow up, man. You know what? I'll just, like, Bob did the show.
I think it has to become a tradition at this point.
Bob did the show in those shorts, and people want to talk shit. I mean, come on, dude. Like, you go look at Bob in his shorts. Dude's got quads. He is built. I ain't built. I'm a freaking chubby old white guy. Like, say something about my underwear, dude. I'm hung like a fucking blind mole rat. I mean, honestly, I think I'm to that point in my life that not only did my shit quit growing, but now it's turning turtle. It's going down the hill. It's like regressing. Like, yeah, come on, man.
I'm not gonna say that's what the shows are all about. Like, if that's what it is, I think we're paying for the wrong thing. But
yeah,
essentially that's what it's about. Like, it's about making memories and having fun and coming together, and just, we take everything in this hobby a little too seriously at times. And if you can't just let loose and have some fun at the same time, then why the hell are you in it? You know what I mean? Like,
okay,
just enjoy yourself.
So,
but I'm not saying there's not serious parts too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, if you can't cut loose every now and then, there's something wrong.
Look at the auction. Cass got up there and said they were going to auction their underwear. Like, what about how many times the remember at Arlington, the bag of dicks, the soap. I mean, people joke, they have fun. I mean, that did start getting a little overboard. There's a difference. I mean, you could be funny and not be vulgar. And, it's just that line. But like I said, when I heard that today from Scott, he sent me a screenshot. Somebody was like upset because he had his shirt off and I was in my underwear. I'm like, you look at the two of us, neither one of us are specimens. You're not going to look, swipe, and go. It's just funny. It's not meant, whatever. Yeah, there's a lot, man. You know what? We talked a little. I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off it, man. To everyone out there that's just in this community the last few years, I apologize to you. I really do. It's kind of a shit show. When I started, like I said, I got my first ball python in 93, and I've had many animals since. I've bred bearded dragons in the late 90s, early 2000s. Right now, just because what I'm doing ball python wise, I've had to get rid of all my other animals, which kills me. But I'm going to bring them back after I get some of these quad, triple recessives gone. When I started, we dealt with guys that just didn't want you in, and they were just assholes, but they're up to your face. They were assholes. Just like, it just, you didn't get help from them, but that's all there is. Today's society, wow, man. I'll put this out there to everyone who's got their aspirations of shooting to the moon instantly. You're not going to be Miguel.
No.
Don't try to be. Like, I don't know, dude. I'm watching it right now, and there's some of these guys that really want to be big shots, and they're doing it all the wrong ways. I mean, they're talking shit about people that won't bow down to them. It's just crazy. I can't believe some of the stuff going on right now. I just heard another good one. One of them will go up and interview you and do stuff, and then expects to pick whatever animal he wants off your table because he's got you followers. Yeah, right? Oh, aren't you
That
fucking
doesn't
special?
sound right. Yeah.
Oh no, no. I kind of struggle sometimes, even with this. Shit, what's the name of it? I don't even know the name of it. The one where they pay you to talk to them.
I don't know.
All right,
Oh
somebody on the
no.
chat, you know what? All right, come on, Richie. Huh? What's the one there? Oh, God, I really wish I had
I don't
half a
know,
brain.
but like if you
It's where you subscribe to them, and then you can talk to them, and you can
Patreon.
Patreon. Thank you. I kept wanting to say Pandora, and I know that was wrong. I didn't want to sound stupider than I am. So Patreon. All right. Now somebody like Will, I could see paying Will. Will Morrows knows his shit. His dad is a veterinarian. He knows what he's talking about. He's been doing it a long time. Um, Someone's been doing this a couple years and charging. Like, I've been doing this 20 fucking years. I'll talk to anyone. I ain't charging nobody nothing. Now, I don't throw shade on people. Everyone has their own way they're going to go. And if you're going to go and invest and make money doing YouTube videos and everything, you're going to quit your day job, then you've got to charge. You've got to
No,
do it. I
100%.
mean, yeah, but I think it's all these people, they almost want it for free. And where I have the problem is they're talking shit about people that won't bow down to them, that won't give them something. I don't know what the fuck that is about. Like, how special are you?
It's the mentality, man. Like, so it, as much as I hate to say this, that's kind of what it's what YouTube preaches. Like, if you go through and you actually go through the YouTube Academy and all this shit, right, to teach you how to be a content creator and how to really take advantage of sponsorships and affiliate marketing and all this other shit, right? That's what they teach you. It's exactly what they teach you. And I'm not saying it's wrong in every niche.
Okay.
Like, by all means, in some niches it works great because that's the way it is. But in the reptile community, I don't know that, like you're saying, I don't know that that's necessarily the case. And I would probably say, like, the guys that haven't been doing it a long time, like myself, like, honestly, I've been around reptiles my whole life, but breeding, taking care of them at the level that I have to now in order to like grow and keep animals healthy to sell. No, like I've worked pet stores or I've just had them as pets and obviously didn't take the greatest care of them because I didn't know there was a better way to take care of them. Well, I'm still learning all that, right? And I'll continue for the rest of my life to learn that because there's always ways to improve. But I think like the guys that do this, it should be more towards like, hey, like who is it? Like Garrett Hartle. I love what Garrett Hartle does. Like all his Patreon members get access to his facility once a year, right? Or like Justin does. He does the same thing. There's people that like you have to join their Patreon to be a member of their Discord, but the connections that you get from that Discord is huge. And it's not like they're charging you a whole lot of money. Like some of them are like $3, $5 a month, which is nothing. Like essentially they're getting that taxed away from them. But
Right.
the connections you
See,
can make,
now,
because it becomes a closer community at that point though. Like that group all wants to talk to each other. They want to enter work projects. They want to talk about what they're seeing. And yes, there can be drama from it, but there's also a huge potential for it if you work it the right way.
I agree with that. Um, I think my thing is the guys who want them more for the money, more for like, and I know there's someone in this chat that they know exactly what I'm talking about. If you have to go and sit there and you ever make the comment, I'm kind of a big thing, maybe you're not. If you have to tell people that you're a big thing, if you're trying to be a big thing, and like I said, I'm not going to throw shade on people. That's not my place. I don't, it's like I said, I told you we've talked before. John's Jungle, fuck that piece of shit. I will talk about him any given day. And, same thing. Khalil 514, I got proof the guy's a lying sack of shit. And I found out he fucked somebody else over that's big in this community that would piss a lot of people off. But other than that, people that I know for 100% fact are screwing people over, I ain't gonna name names. I don't need to. I look at it like this. Only you're the only one that can decide what you see when you look into a mirror. You see a douchebag, you see a douchebag. I mean, I had this conversation with my manager just this week. I went up and told him, hey, I think I'm going to go change some jobs. Most people wouldn't say, don't tell him. I told him it's a chain of command. I'm military. I'm upfront. I'm honest. If I screw myself, I screw myself, but I screw myself as a man,
100%.
And that's just it. So you can go, all right, a really, really good example, Mason Barnes. Okay. I don't know if you know who he is or not. Great guy. I mean, he's got 75,000 followers. He's just the real deal. He's honest. Everything he's doing, he's got the followers. He's doing everything, but he's doing it for the love of the money. I mean, for the love of the animals, not for the love of the money.
He's watching.
Yeah, he's watching.
You're done. You're done. It's coming out now.
Yeah. No. But he does it for the love of the animals, not for the love of the money. And these other guys, it's just they want fortune, they want fame. And, as sad as it is, I mean, yeah, there's some of them that are just running around shows chasing skirts around because this is their 15 minutes of fame. Like, that's cool.
But those are the ones that you see washed out.
Pathetic. Yeah, and they will. But the thing I've learned, and so now, of course, this industry, this hobby, it's now like high school. And you got the cool kids, you got the jocks, you got everything, I'm watching all the cool kids and stuff they're doing. And the sad thing is they will talk shit about somebody. Other people won't give those guys a chance. They prejudge them on what this other person said, but he was full of shit. And, I did that once. I had Heather's Herps, and one of my friends said that, he told her to hold a snake at a show, and then she ended up selling it. And I was just kind of like, oh, that was rude. So I distanced myself. 5-6 years later, I got to know her. I'm like, oh my God, you're incredible. And I realized, I'm like, wait a minute. My friend's a fucking idiot. I've said that about him to his face for 10 years. And then she moved away. She got out of the Reptiles. I lost a chance to become friends with a really incredible person because I listened to this dumbass. How many of these people are out there, and because they're not getting their way, they're bad-mouthing people, and now you get all their group, their followers, everything. It's sad, man. I tell you, people, think for yourself. If you hear somebody is like hurting animals or screwing people over, and it's proof that they're horrible, yeah, don't give them a chance. But man, be your own person. Talk to people. You figure it out. You can keep in the back of your head what somebody else had, and then you might just find out you're going to learn something about that person.
100%. I don't know. I feel like you're always going to find that. Like, regardless of the industry you're in, you're always going to find drama in some sort, right? The difference is the people that rise to the top or the people that stay in it are the people that don't make themselves part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once you become part of it, that's when the bad things start happening. That's when the drama eventually turns at you. And for most people, they don't know how to handle that. They don't know how to just take it on the chin and keep moving forward and focus on their own shit, because that's what you should have been doing all along. Because no one else is going to build your damn brand for you. You got to do it
No.
yourself. No one's going to clean your animal. Well, I mean, they will if you pay them enough, but no one
The
else
big
is
thing
going to
is
take care of your animals. So, you know what I
just
mean?
don't be
Like,
a douchebag.
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
simple.
it's simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's simple. If you're an upfront guy, okay, think about this. Name any one of my lives where I have not said I'm an asshole. Every live, I'm an asshole. I'm upfront. I tell you, I'm an asshole. But what do I say? I say, you'll find people that don't like me because I'm real. And people love it when you're real, except for when you're real about them.
Right.
Okay. You will not find one person that has ever been screwed over by me. Not like me, of course. Some justified because I called them out. Some not justified because they listened to other people that didn't get their way or they got called out by me. But you're not going to find a person. I talk about we shipped a snake to a guy in Texas, and he got it, and he was mad. He got a hold of me. I didn't ship it, and Michael did. He boxed it up. He said it was in shed. I said, you know what? It's my fault. I should have looked at it. It turns out it had a double shed. I don't know. I've had a dozen of them where, they don't get their first shed off. They get their second one on. It constricts them. He got it. I didn't question him. I must have apologized 20 times. I sent him his money back. He could have kept the snake. I sent him a shipping label, and he messaged me again at one point. He goes, hey, I'm interested in this snake unless I'm on your do not sell list. Like, why, dude? I'm the one that made the bonehead move,
Right.
not looking at a snake and shipping. I could have kept it a week and got it both sheds off of it. If you've never done it, but that's just it. You don't even stop to think, man. If you make a mistake, make it right away. If he would have kept that snake, you know what? It's on me because I shouldn't have sent it in the first place. Like, it's not that hard to be a stand-up dude unless you just aren't a stand-up dude. Then I guess it would be kind of hard.
Well, I mean, that's the way any business should be in the first place. Like, it's super simple. And I just finished my internship, so I officially have my associates. Whoop whoop. But in so my boss had 5 restaurants, a construction company, had a nonprofit, was building an agricultural company, like extremely big in the community, right? Like, as far as an internship in El Paso, I couldn't ask for better because he's connected to everyone within city council.
Good.
Like, I could go pretty much anywhere now, and just off of his recommendation alone, I'll probably get a job. But that's neither here or there because I'm trying to make my own thing, and hopefully it works out, right? But what I was going with that is you can't grow to like the Miguel status. You can't grow to the Justin status. You can't grow to even your status because you want to. Well, but you have the animals. Like, you're known more than I think you realize you are, and people don't necessarily put out all the credit that they should. The fact that you're already into triple and quad recessives, like at least the hets for them, and you're working towards something that most people haven't even, like, I'm barely starting on my doubles, and it's because I finally realized, oh, if I don't start putting multiple recessives into projects, I'm going to be screwed and I'm going to be left behind. Right. But you've had that mentality from essentially the beginning that I've known you, which is, it's been, I want to say, at least 4 years at this point. And you've always pushed it. Like, you've had a business mentality, whether that was your thought to make it a full out business or what have you, right? And you can't do that by being untrustworthy. You can't do that by not taking care of your customers. You can't do that by just being a plain asshole, even though you call yourself an asshole. I don't think there's been a point where, as soon as you see me and you realize it's me because you're busy, there hasn't been a smile on your face and you're like, dude, I'm just happy to see you. Like, people genuinely pick up on that shit. Like you can be yourself. Like I can act this way on camera, and if I'm not this way in person, you're gonna say a whole completely fucking different thing about me, right? Like you're gonna turn around and be like, you know what, John's pretty fucking fake. Like he could hold shit on camera, but wait till you meet him in person. I wouldn't buy from that motherfucker if you paid me. Like you could buy the snake and I'll take it, and I'm still not gonna do it just because I'm not who I present myself as. And you can't do that and build a legitimate business.
Yeah. See, for me, my hard thing is I can't shut up. I tell myself all the time, I'm going to like, I'll see someone, I'll be like, shut up. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Just let it go. And then it just opens. Like I had a guy who we had an issue. He sold me a snake, and it proved after 1 year that it wasn't that. I talked to him. He said, we'll do the second year. It proved again that it was not what he said it was. So then he wasn't going to do nothing about it and everything. And it kind of got ugly for a minute, and we'd never met. And he didn't know who I was, never seen my face. And this is before all this stuff. And I saw him at a show, and he is kind of a big deal. I walked up to him, and I out of nowhere, like, hey, how you doing? He's like, good. I'm like, yeah, you don't like me. He goes, I like everybody. I told him what the snake was, and he just turned around and went, oh. I was like, it's all right, dude. I'm like, you ended up making good. I'm man enough to tell you who I am. I'm not going to run fucking hide from anyone. I mean, but yeah, I think people, the biggest problem is I always tell people breed for what you like. I heard guys on Instagram just recently, and they're talking about breeding for, what the dollar value is that people are paying. And I'm like, don't breed for what people are paying. Unless if you want to open a pet store,
it's going to go down.
Ahead. Well, yeah, but if you're going to open a pet store, then you breed for what's popular. But I tell the story when GHIs first came out, I could have got into it for free. I had someone that had a male, said, give me a couple females. And I said, no. I said, I'm not into dark snakes. I don't want to open a tub for 3 years and go, God, you're ugly, but you're going to make me money. There's no excitement in that, And I'm a horrible person.
That hurts, Randy. That fucking hurts. I love GHI.
Oh, I've got a couple back here. They're insane. I actually have about 5 or 6 of them now. I went through this shift because in the mid 80s, all I wanted was bright. For in 85, 86, I bought every super pastel I could find just because I wanted to keep bright. Now it's changed a little. I mean, with Hatari and with Puzzle, it's changing. It's going to a little bit of darkness, but
I think you have to have both. You have to have both. You need that contrast. So as much as you like the bright stuff and you dislike the dark, you can't create that contrast that's needed without both.
I like contrast. That's it. To me, I want the blackest blacks and the brightest of yellows. And it's like I said, I mean, I've been doing this long enough. I got rid of all my hypos and all my exanthics in 2011. Here I am now going, oh crap, I need to get them all back again. So now I'm buying all the stuff I got rid of over 10 years ago. And I've got, Steven, who's on here, Desert Mojave, and Marley. And between the two of them, but she's not no BS exotics. It's knob sex. Just whenever you message her, knob sex. No, I've been working with the two of them, and it's so funny. Like both of them, I've been trying to explain to them how to have an actual plan, and they were thankful because no one had told it before. Everyone's quick to just go, oh yeah, so go get you a spot nose het clown and go get you a leopard clown and you're gonna make Batmans like you and everybody else. But how is that? I tell people there's a formula of figuring out what you like. Looking like I look at what Justin makes, and me and Justin have talked. He knows, like everyone else, I respect no man because of the snakes he made. Like, wow, cool, bro. You put two snakes together, they fucked, and they did that. Like, oh my God, you are the man. No, you're not, dude. A 3-year-old could put them together. You know,
Right.
I respect the men for the men. And with Justin, like we've talked about, I respect that he takes the time to find out, just like Stranger and was it Stranger Mahogany,
Mm-hmm.
and try to find out if they're the same gene or not. He does the research, he figures it out, and he shares it with everybody. That's what I respect about him. And people need to go and they need to figure out how to have those ideas. They need to look at what works with what. And there's my girl. What works with what, and go their own direction. I look at everything Justin makes and I throw it into Puzzle or Hatari, because that's going to make something the same but different. Do I know if it's going to work? Nah, it's a gamble. But that's where the thrill is. The thrill
Right.
is in getting that snake out of that egg and seeing something that no one's made before that you envisioned, and to see if it's what you envisioned or not. That's it.
That's where I don't know if I said it the best earlier, but that's how you make your name. Like I love the way you put that. I don't think there's so many followers. What made Justin great isn't the fact that he just threw a bunch of snakes together. Like anyone can do that shit. I could throw 100 different snakes together, and eventually I'm gonna pop one or two out that look amazing and get lucky, right? Everyone can do that shit.
Yep.
The difference between Justin and everyone else, and I've been saying this for I don't know how long, is the fact that he literally studies these genes. He studies how they're interacting. He studies how the pattern reduction changes when you mix it to certain recessives, like every little aspect. It's become more of, I would say he's an obsessed artist more than a ball python breeder at this point, because he's figuring out how to change the color variants. He's figuring out how to change pattern variants into what he wants to see. And it's just, if other people took the time to, and I'm not saying people don't appreciate their animals this way, but if other people took the time to just focus on specific genes and their interaction with each other in the same way, the
Now,
industry would be 10 times farther than where it is right now.
the only reason I have to disagree with you a little on that is because most people can't be Justin because it's how he's wired. People that meet Justin think he doesn't like them. He's kind of very introverted.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he did that stand-up comedy, I was like, all right, who in the hell did they put in his body? Like, Justin is just very smart, very analytical. It's hard. Me and you are veterans.
Mm-hmm.
We walk into a room, I analyze the room. I'm always looking around. It's like when I ride the motorcycle. I always tell people, I ride my motorcycle, I'm basically a diamond. I'm looking in front of me, looking mirror, in front of me, mirror, in front of me. And the whole time. There's been a couple times I've had people pass me in my lane. And had I not been looking at that mirror, it would have been bye-bye. And it's the same thing. We go into a room, right. We analyze it. I've had to tell people before when they thought I was looking at them, like, no, you just don't get it. And that's Justin. You can't just tell people, okay, study a gene. Justin is so smart. It's hard to get another person that's going to be like him. It's just the way he's wired. But anyone can do it, not at that level, but anyone can put 100% more effort in what they're doing. if they just stop listening to these tools that don't know what they're talking about, that just want to be the it guy, want to be the cool kid or anything else, like, you know what? If you do help people, like, I mean, how do you say it? It's like you can only make so many animals a year. It's not like you're going to go out and it's not Bitcoin where they're saying there's so much and you got to go gobble it all up. All right. Make what you can, help people make what they can. Here's the big thing. And everyone, this is it. This is what's really cool for people to understand. These certain people make you feel like they're your friends. But if you succeed, they're not happy for you. If I talk to friends all the time that play the lottery, I'm like, bro, if you win the lottery, dude, I'm going to be excited for you. Probably never talk to you again because you're stupid. If you keep talking to me, you can go live your dreams. You know, if you can look at someone that succeeds and cannot be happy for them, who's really got the problem? And
Right.
and this is where people need to start looking at who they're talking to. You know, do these people really give a shit about you, or are you a stepping stone for something else? And I don't know. I think there's a lot of people. I was really excited with like Instagram and where this hobby was going. And I was saying how all these new people were the future, and I was so excited. And now I'm like, oh shit. I'm like,
That's the flush.
it's
You
yeah,
gotta get that rotation out. It's just like
yeah.
any job, right? So like you have your turnover rate. You gotta wait for all these new people and all these. I'm not even gonna call them breeders. Like they can breed snakes. Congratulations, but they're not they're not portraying themselves as breeders. They're trying to make a quick buck, and they see that they can make it this way. But I don't know, man. Like, I agree. Going back to what you said about us being in the military and like that learned skill, it's still a learned skill. And that's why I was saying, like, if people would put the time and energy into learning the way that Justin does, I'm not saying that everyone will hit Justin's level, but everyone within that circle guaranteed is going to move up. Everyone that is willing to do that is going to move up because they're going to start making a lot better combinations. They're going to start realizing, okay, this interacts with this better. It's a learned skill, just like everything else. I'm not saying that everyone can hit it the exact same level, but it took Justin, what, 12 to 15 years to find this. Like,
Yeah.
and that's what it's going to take for anyone. Like, find your longevity. If you can't find the joy in this, if you can't study those to that finite detail and want it for that long, you're not going to make it there. Like, this isn't a race. Like the people like Miguel that are able to throw 100,000 plus into it right away. Okay, you're going to make some cool stuff, but even a lot of those you'll see wash out after a couple of years. The reason Miguel's so successful isn't his money, though. And a lot of people don't understand that. They're just like, oh, he threw all this money and he got all these badass snakes, and that's why he's so good. He's not good because of his money. He was never good because of his money. He's good because he knows how to build a fucking relationship with people. He understands how to put people before himself, how to market people, and market himself at the same time. That's why he's a success. You got to find the people in your circle that have those little bits to make you more successful and take that trait and push it into your own way of thinking.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. So for Miguel, I think what people don't realize about Miguel, yeah, did he buy his way in? Yeah, we all did. If you didn't buy your way in, if you had it all gifted to you, you'd probably get a lot more hate. But regardless, whether he started with normals and pastels, excuse me, normals, pastels, whatever it is, or he jumped right into Batman's and everything else. Miguel isn't a multimillionaire. This is still, he's betting his family's future on it. But now here's the big thing about Miguel is he's done more for the hobby. He didn't buy ball pythons and stick with ball pythons and say, okay, I'm a ball python god. He's getting into what he's getting into. He's going out and looking for hots and all that. That's where he's into. Me, I'm a fucking pussy, dude. I just had a conversation with someone and we're talking and it's so funny. My buddy, he's like, yeah, and I got these and he's like, you know, tell me about it. I go, well, what's the bite like? And he's like, oh, well, what's the hardest bite you've ever had and all that? And we're talking. I'm like, no. Like, dude, I'm sorry, but I'm not a glutton for punishment. I'm not into S&M. Like, you gotta something like I to me, honestly, I would love pit vipers. They are so incredible. Dude, I get bit by ball pythons. Difference is they don't fucking kill you, okay? I can love those, but no, dude. Like, seriously, if I wanted to make a ton of money, I would keep hots. I would milk them for their venom and sell it to the medical industry. The only problem is people would see me and be like, all right, Randy's going into battle. Because I would dress like a fucking full suit of armor. You'd be like, look, Randy's in his Bud Light outfit again. Be with my fucking sword. Like, no, dude, sorry. Hey, whatever, you know, Venom Life can stay on this, not, yeah. I'm getting to that age. I'm going to need the pin soon. I don't need to get bit by something to get me there sooner, okay?
You're going to go from Captain Underpants to Captain Depends.
Dude, probably. Wouldn't that? You know what? Honestly, oh, God. See, you can't leave me unsupervised because I do. I take shit way too far and I go way too stupid and I can't do that. All right, back to Miguel. He just look what he's done though. I mean, he's following his heart. He's not trying to just get into a community and be a god. And he's going into Mexico. Is he making a lot of money? Yes. You know what you call that? I call it smart. Like the guy's doing what he wants and making a lot of money. Like, let's see. If you really wanted to fly airplanes and you did it for a living as a commercial pilot, I wonder if people would hate on you. Like, he's doing everything right. He's getting the hobby into other countries. I mean, the only people that are hating on him are either people that can't be him, or just assholes. I mean, seriously, what is he not doing for our hobby?
Everything. And that's the scary thing. Like, if we had half the push that he did, the hobby, the industry, whatever you want to call it, man, would be so much further ahead of where it is. And there's a lot of people that dedicate a lot of their time trying to figure out how to bring the industry closer together, or how to reach out to new people. But no one has done it as effectively and on as grand a scale as Miguel has. Like, dude's in LA. He's found a way to mix with movie stars. He's found a way to mix with car people. He's found a way to mix with sports. Like, everything that you could think of, he's found a way to integrate himself in some aspect. And it takes a lot of his time and a lot of his life. Like, I don't think people understand. This dude doesn't sleep. He doesn't get time off. Like, the vacations that you see with his family and stuff on his social media aren't just vacations. Like, if he's lucky, he gets a couple of days with them. But 9 times out of 10, he's working. You're just seeing the vacation portion of it.
You know, there is one thing I remember I don't like about Miguel. And I think he's an asshole for it. And I've told him. He sold the snake to Ozzy fucking Osbourne. Dude, I grew up with Ozzy. And that hurt. That really hurt. Yeah. No, I mean, he is. And people don't look at that. I mean, what people like that are actually helping our industry. And you know, like you said, we all need to come together. Like, you know, here's the thing with US ARC and what they're trying now with the Lacey Act and everything. You know, people need to realize, like, I don't know if you heard Phil talking about it, but like in Florida, the problem, the reason they had the ban, no one showed up. Like everybody wants to see it. I mean, if this hobby, this community really wants to make a change, it's nice. In the past couple of years, I've seen more support for US ARC and more support for what matters. And people need to get up. They need to say, hey, okay, it takes less than 5 minutes to send those emails. But you know what? How many people do you have?
That's not even the issue. That's not even the issue, Randy. The issue is how many people are in this industry?
Yeah, there's tons.
Do you know how many members there are for US ARC?
How many?
It's around 7,000 members for US ARC right now.
Yeah, and see, that's about how many people we have in my city that are reptile people.
You know how crappy that looks when the industry is a $5.3 billion industry in the United States alone, and you have 7,000 people supporting the people that protect you from laws. 7,000. I'm gonna say, I think I forgot to say it last week, but if you get a US ARC membership until the end of the month, or you renew it, I don't care when you renewed it. I'm sorry if you renewed it last month, but if you renew it and send me a snapshot, I'm donating $10 to US ARC for every screenshot that's sent to me for the month of March. Like, and it's not a lot, but it's something, and it's a way to create excitement to grow their numbers, because at the end of the day, that's what the Senate's going to look at. That's what the House looks at. That's what everyone up there looks at. They don't give a shit about what they're saying. They're going to look at, okay, how many people are going to oppose this if we make it a law? How much are our emails going to get blown up? How bad are our phones going to blow up over this legislature if we decide to pass it? And when they see 7,000, it's pitiful. I couldn't even tell you how many breeders. There's tens of thousands.
Well, it's like I said, a big thing is, so we can't do anything about the people that aren't going to join. I mean, we can try to get them to, but the ones that are, you know, need to realize, ask your family members, ask your friends. Don't just you send it in. Get as many people as you know, your friends, whether they have animals or not. You know, I'll tell you what, I mean, that's cool. You're doing the whole, you know, the $10 thing and that. I'll tell you what, whoever's watching and that, if they want to buy a Hatari, mention John. I'll give you $1,000 off, and I'll send $1,000 check into US ARC for every Hatari sold this month. You know, it's just, help, support. I mean, you know, whatever. I mean, I get it. Some people can't, they say they can't support them money-wise. Well, emails are free. Like, even if you're not a paying member, you can go ahead and send in those emails. You can get your friends and family to send them in. It's just sad hearing about, you know, in Florida, how few people showed up and did anything. But like anything else, then they want to go and complain about US ARC. I get the same shit at work. I hear people talk about the union. Like, yeah, you know, you aren't supporting the union. So why do you think the company's taking everything away from you?
Right.
Because all you're going to do is sit and complain about what they're taking away, that you're not like, yeah.
You're not fighting for it. You don't want it. You don't care. You want to. It's as much as I hate to say it, it's the generation, man. Like it's the mindset that these last two generations have created, where they want everything fucking handed to them on a silver platter, and they got to understand it doesn't work that way. Like you can't. You don't get anything in this life for free except your damn death. I'm sorry to say. And even that's not free. Like your family members are going to get taxed for that shit if you don't set up all your stuff. But
yeah, no, you know what? I don't understand today's society, and that's why a lot of people look at me like I'm stupid, and well, shit, I guess I am. But that aside, I mean, I look at it like, I'm sure we've all seen like the videos. Like I see the in the fast food place, that one video that went around a couple of years ago. A guy asked if he had a military discount. Some young girl behind him went off about it. I'm like, okay, first of all, they don't realize today's society, whether you believe. I actually had somebody at work tell me his wife, who isn't even from our fucking country, doesn't believe in our military. And yeah, I'm glad I just got squeaked out of going to HR for that one. But I'm like, people don't realize there's two things you need to know about every service member, no matter where they serve, what they are. What are they trained to do? Kill. What are they ready to do? Die. You're going to ask if they deserve a military discount? Oh, fuck, man. I don't get today's society. And, it's like I look at it, and you're right. They want everything handed to them. What happened to a backbone? What happened to, earning something and being proud of what you accomplished? It just, I don't know. It's sad, man.
I don't know, man. Like I remember my grandpa, and he was a Korean War vet and a Vietnam War vet, and never asked for a thing in his life. Like he didn't ask for discounts. He just, like, if someone thanked him for his service, and I do the same thing. Like I honestly don't like hearing it. And that's just my perspective. Maybe it's because of my grandpa. I don't know, but I don't like hearing thank you for your service. Like I nod and I say, well, thank you for supporting, because the support means more than my service. Like I did what I felt was right. As a man, I should do what I feel is right, or a woman, or whoever you are. As a person, you should do what you feel is fucking right, plain and simple. And that's where I felt my draw was, and was the right thing to do at the time, right? But when they're asking for it, I don't look down on it. But yeah, like for people to hate on veterans for that, no, like that veteran went through hell, for all you know. Like you don't know what they went through. I've like, I don't know. I don't want to get too far into that, because I'll go down a real dark tunnel. But
I get you, man. I totally get what you're saying. Like I said, I've got people on me kind of on a regular where, they think I'm stupid. And like I said, they're right. I, when I came back from Desert Storm, Desert Shield, and that, I saw the support. I saw all the yellow ribbons. I had tears in my eyes. Even now, I'll start to get choked up. I get so many people asking me why I don't go get my disability. I've got my DD 214 documented PTSD. I've got other issues, the same thing. I'm not going to go into in that, but they're telling me I can get 100% disability. And you know what I tell them? Man, I got brothers out there that need that fucking money. I don't. I'm walking. I'm talking. I'm doing my shit. I'm working. I don't need to take somebody else's money just because I can take it. But that's today's society. That's the mentality. Take. Don't earn anything. It's like, fuck, I don't get it. I can't wait till something happens. And you know how they say, weak times make strong men. Fuck, let's get them back. I tell them at work all the time. I'm like, you know what? When I was in the military, we had these guys. You told them what to do, and they did it. They didn't cry. They didn't complain. They did it. Whether they liked it or not, they did it. They were called men. Oh, God, I want to hire some. Please tell me where they are. Like, all right, yeah, we're falling down that hole.
Yeah, we're gonna go down that dark hole. So back to ball pythons.
Yeah. What's your breeding this season?
My season's going rough. So I thought I was gonna move. So I pulled everything after the first month, and then the jobs that I went for, I got denied for all of them. So I am now staying in El Paso, and I'm hoping that I could just salvage at this point. So we'll see. Hopefully everything turns out for the best. But even if it doesn't, well, next year's next year, and I'll make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. I mean, I had a conversation today, and we were talking about snakes, and I was asked, well, do you breed them all? Don't they breed? I'm like, I've had females that haven't laid in 5 years. I'm like, they're going to go when they're going to go.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. They're going to go when they're going to go. Hopefully Randy comes back. Oh no. This guy. Getting to the good stuff. What do you guys think? But I don't know. Like, there we go. He's back. Oh,
all right.
It's like,
no,
we're gonna have to carry this.
I've got like Xanthic clowns that they're going to go this year, but I made them in 2018, and they haven't laid since. It happens. You just keep moving forward, try to figure out, make your game plan, and see what you want to make.
100%. I'm finally moving towards the smart stuff. Like my big push is for DG clown stuff. I think it's just an amazing combo. I have the possibility of potentially hitting fire yellow belly DG clowns this year if the girl continues to grow.
Nice.
I don't ultrasound or anything. I don't think I'm far enough or deep enough into it yet. I want to be able to read the animals better. I want to be able to feel the follicles and understand everything that's going on, and then just use the ultrasound for doing more. Obviously, I'm not saying it's not a great tool, and the people that use it, by no means do I think that it's cheating. Like you do you, but I want to be in touch with my animals at all times before I go that route, because I understand it's a lot less stress on the animal. By all means, like do what's best for you and your animals, but I want to do the scientific approach for myself. Like I need to understand this first, right?
I've got my second ultrasound machine. I suck at it, dude. I can't do it. Like, they just sit. I actually, you know what? When I was in Tinley, I met the guy who bought my old ultrasound machine. And it was funny. He's like, yeah, it works perfect. I use it all the time. I go, yeah. I still can't figure out my new one. I'm like, but I mean, I'm the guy. Dude, it's so ignorant. Like, anyone that's on this chat, they can laugh. Like, Mary's on there. Marley's on here. These different people will tell you, I barely can send an instant message, but I have a freaking degree in computers. Like,
you're tailored to the system. That's all it means.
Yeah. I can't do any of this, but I can't figure it out. I'm like, there's too many sliding bars. It just doesn't work. So, okay, I'll tell you what, really quick, you look and see what the questions are. Yeah, see, Marley agrees. I can't do it. I can't even repost stuff. I barely learned how to wave. Like, people are in Instagram lives, and I just learned how to wave.
I'm not gonna lie, I just got there too.
Really quick,
for as much as I do on Instagram, I should know better, but I don't do lives either.
Look for questions. I'm gonna run piss really quick. I'll be right back.
Oh man, this guy. See what happens when you drink and podcast? Anyways, I hope you all are enjoying this. I hope that your seasons are going really well. Sorry, my brain like sends me looking in other directions. I don't know why I do this. I'm gonna get better about this one day. Um, once Randy comes back from, maybe he'll make an appearance as Captain Underpants on the way back. Who knows? But I swear, one of these days I'm gonna actually like get a red cape and regular whitey tidies and make him dress up and run through the snake show that way. But yeah, for those that don't know, Captain Underpants is one of my kids' favorites. I think my wife really enjoyed it when she was a kid too. But anyways, underpants, not pants, Chad. Who wants to wear pants? I don't even. I mean, I have shorts on. We'll go there. Anyways, wine's bad. Don't drink wine. No, I'm just kidding. I hope you all are having an amazing season. I hope the ones that are new and are just growing their animals up, you stay patient with it. It takes a lot of patience. It took me 3.5 years, I think. No. Yeah, 3.5, maybe 4 years before I had my first clutch. I grew everything up. I grabbed a couple of girls that were a little bit bigger but weren't breeding size yet. And I finally figured it out, and it's all a process, and you got to understand that process. You got to enjoy that process. You got to love that process. Otherwise, you're not going to be successful. Like Matt said, so much patience. But yeah, man, like it's a great process. And the community, as much as there is drama, there's that high school stuff, like he was saying earlier. It's great. Like I have made some of the best friends that I've never had. I probably never would have met without this. And like me and Matt freaking talk all the time. We're sending each other stupid memes or stupid clips now because of it. Like this industry is amazing. So we only had the one question. I know a lot of people want to see your snakes. Someone's talking about hypo puzzle stuff. Most anticipated, maybe I can talk. Most anticipated clutch of the year.
Oh, for me, actually, I'd have to say I'd really like to make a hypoexanthic puzzle. That's something I'm going for this year. Triple visual. Honestly, Hatari, dude. The last few since 2018, I've been focusing so much on puzzle. I've shelved my OFY project. Clowns and yellow belly stuff is kind of taking a back seat. But I mean, what I'm seeing out of Hatari, I'm so excuse me.
We're both there.
Yeah,
that wine got me.
Well, you know what? I'm sitting there and I'm in taking a piss and I'm going, oh my God, I only got 3 beers here. And I'm like, this is way more than 3 beers coming out of me. And then I remembered, I'm like, oh yeah, you had
It's
like,
Saturday.
you supersized a meal and made a big whiskey. And my new thing, which is, I don't know, kind of foo-foo-ish, but peanut butter whiskey and root beer.
The screwball?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, screwball whiskey.
Oh no, this one's I have sheepdog.
Okay.
But it's peanut butter whiskey and root beer. And when we were in Arlington, Noble Reptiles had peanut butter whiskey and chocolate beer, Hershey chocolate beer. And you take a shot and drink it with the beer, and it was like a Reese's peanut butter cup, which, I mean, it's kind of cool. It's like Pinnacle whipped vodka and cranberry juice, and it you do the shot and drink it, and it tastes just like cheesecake. And so I was like, all right, cool, whatever, kind of foo-foo-ish. But dude, this with root beer, everybody that I've given it to loves it. Chase took half the bottle at Arlington. In Tinley, he was like, yeah, Justin really doesn't want me drinking Like at the time, like, cool, dude, I get it. Like, but yeah, so I just realized, yeah, that was like a big gulp coming out and everything else. So, yeah, man, I tell people honestly, the Hatari has blown me away. What it does. I got a whole rack of puzzles here because I saw what I wanted, and there's other people. Will is ahead of me.
Oh yeah.
Vivid Pythons, they're ahead of me, but nobody has the numbers that I have. And so where there people are making things onesies, twosies here and there, I've got 5 double het puzzle clowns breeding this year. I have, like, as far as hypo puzzles go, I don't honestly, like I said, there's people that are further than me, but I don't think anyone has the hypo puzzles that I have and the potential. So, I'm doing the same thing with Hatari. I'm letting people sleep on it. I'm hooking my friends up, but I'm building my freaking army. And I told Brittany Gobble, I sent her and Johnny, because I love them. They're favorite people in the world. I love them. High point of any show for me, like Arlington, the best part of the entire show was going to breakfast with them. I love Brittany. Every morning I say good morning to her. I made her promise me she would not sell one to Justin. And I said, Justin has to have one, but other people need to get them first, So yeah, that's some anticipated clutches there, Hatari.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you?
I love Brittany, man. Like so we were only able to be there on Saturday this last Arlington, and I literally called her as soon as we were out of the show, and I was like, I know you're here. I've seen Johnny like 3 times. I haven't seen you. And she's like, oh, I had to finish my book. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, which hotel are you in? What's the room number? I'm going to come see you before we leave. And we ended up staying in their room for like an extra 45 minutes to an hour and just catching up from last time. And like, we're always in contact, but they're such good people, man. Yeah. Such good people.
I saw Johnny there, and I just right then, like I'm sitting there and I turn around, I see him, and I was just like, my man crush, like right in front of me. And because do you ever see the video of Johnny when he got my shirt and did the wet shirt? Yeah. So yeah, ever since then, and but yeah, it was so great seeing them and catching up.
Absolutely,
so,
man. I love that.
You can't talk to her at a show. You can't. I mean, she attracts more attention than Justin. The only person that has more is Miguel. I mean, I swear to God, he's the only person. I walk to a show and I hear people going, he's here. And, he just flew in. I'm like, yeah, they're taking his cape off of him right now and dry cleaning it before he leaves. But, yeah.
It brings excitement, man.
He does. Yeah, and like I said, there won't be another Miguel. Quit trying to be it, people. Be yourself. Okay, that goes back to a point I wanted to make. Is you look at all these other people. Like, so now Miguel is Miguel. He's spreading out, okay? Justin is Justin. But like Will Morrows, you think puzzle, you think desert ghost, okay? When I think Snakekeeper Exanthic, I think John Dagg. I don't think Snakekeeper. JD Constriction, okay? You say Orange Dream.
Ozzy, obviously.
Well, everyone always thinks Ozzy, but that's not my first choice. Chris Hernan. He makes incredible Orange Dream stuff. So, like, you'll think Ozzy because he made it. But Chris Hernan is who I think, because he's the one when the high OD came out, he really did it. So you look at all these guys that want to be it. What are they known for? I've challenged people to this. Oh, they're known for what? For YouTube?
They're
Oh, they're
known
known
for doing
for
their own
real?
thing.
But what are they known for? Like, oh, they got ball pythons. All right, name a project that they're in. Clowns. Oh, okay, that was original. Cool. Thanks, bro. Like, think about that, people. Think about it. When you're out there watching these people and pledging your time, because your time's money. What the fuck are they really known for? What do they do? What are they like? Yeah, anyone can sit there and post, oh, help US Arc, but I don't know. What are you known for? That's what you need to do. You need to figure out what you want to be known for, figure it out, and go after it and be somebody. Don't just be someone behind a camera. Look, even I can fucking stand in front of a camera and I'm nobody. Like, come on. I'm an asshole.
No,
Like,
I don't know why you keep saying that. We're all somebody. It's just what extent we take it to. And that's,
you know what the difference is?
you can't down credit it. You're like,
You know what
you
it
are
is?
who you are.
I don't want to be anybody. I had a guy call me 2 weeks ago and he says, oh, I'm like, hey, how you doing, man? He's like, oh my God, I'm on the phone with Dark Cloud Reptiles. I go, dude, if that's the high point of your life, that's sad. I'm like, dude, I'm fucking no one. I'll talk to anybody. Like, yeah. I mean, that's just, I think that's why I always insist on the fact that I'm an asshole. I'm a nobody. It's like I say, I don't get a dick measuring contest, but not just because I'd lose. Because I don't walk around like I got a big dick. I don't walk around like I'm somebody. I'm not special. I'm no different than any. I never want that. I've always said, if I ever get the followers, I want to start doing my YouTube, because I said about a year ago or 2 years ago, I want to do mine called Past, Present, and Future. I want to bring people on from 20 years ago and let them tell stories that no one's heard. Talk to new people and see where they're at. But if I make any money, I've already said I want to donate it to US Arc. If I'm going to make money, I want to make money off of the byproduct of animals I want to make for me. I don't want to make it off anything else. That's not my thing. I'll make it off the byproduct, and that's it. I'll give
100%.
all of it to US Arc. But not everyone can do that. I don't throw shade at people. Like I said, if you're not going to work and you're going to make YouTube your thing, man, everyone needs to feed their family.
Yeah.
But just quit fucking throwing shade at people that aren't who you are.
Well, that's how they've seen Hollywood make a living for itself. Like, that's what Hollywood does best. And they try to convert YouTube to Hollywood, and they got to realize it's not that. Now, granted, does it set people up in that lifestyle afterwards? Absolutely. If you get big enough, like if you're a Mr. Beast or fucking, I don't even know the others. Like, you know what I mean? Like they get their chance at Hollywood, but it's a lot of smaller people think that it requires drama to build, when it doesn't. As long as you show passion in what you're doing and you're yourself throughout, I think you're going to build regardless.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, I'm the perfect example of that shit. Like I've for the last year, I've had over 1,000 subscribers. Like I could get paid from YouTube for over a year now, but I keep fucking up. And like every time I get close to the hours, I'm like, I'm bored with it.
Yeah.
I got this going on, or I got that going on. And that's one of the bad things about me. And I talked about it last week with Nick, is like, I can't do one thing. I have to constantly be doing multiple things. And that's where I get in a lot of trouble, is like, if it loses my attention, or like I'm not as interested in it that week, I'll let it fall off. And that's the issue. Like animals, never. Like I love these things. They're my lifesaver, right? But like YouTube or school or whatever, I'll slack off for a week every now and then, because it's just like it's not that important to me. Like it's nice. I want to get my degrees so that I could show my kids, hey, it's important to be educated, like whether you get your degree or not, like just be educated. I want you to always be learning. That's what I'm really trying to instill in them. It's like,
See,
and
that don't work for me because my oldest son has been smarter than me since like 6th grade. I'm like, I'd pick him up from school in 5th grade, and he'd be like, "Dad, how do you spell this?" I'm like, "Well, how do you spell it?" He'd spell it, and I go, "You're right." Like, yeah, I'm just, yeah, I, I don't know. I don't ever claim to be a brain surgeon, but
100%.
no, I just, for me, it's time. Everybody that knows me knows. I get up at like 2:30 in the morning. I go work. I do my thing early and all that because it was like I was just telling my manager. I'm like, you know what? I'll I'll work a job to be a dad, but I'll never quit being a dad for a job. And um, it's just, yeah, I don't I don't have time. I don't care. Like, you've seen me on Instagram. I'll post for a minute and then I just stop. Facebook, I've only posted in the last 2 years because Instagram will post to Facebook. I haven't shared. I just realized that. I'm like, you know what, dude, you really need to get back on there and share. Um, I don't.
Facebook's overrated, anyways. Even though
Yeah,
we're broadcasting on here, watch this entire podcast disappear now because I just threw shade at Facebook.
yeah.
But
Well, it happens. But
there's a lot of drama on it.
you
That's the only
just
thing
you
I
do
hate.
what makes you happy, and that's why if I do a YouTube, you know, the YouTubes I've done, obviously, I mean, John's Jungle was obviously to blast him and let people know what that's about. From that, the positive, I made a breeder loan contract that people reach out to me and I send it to them and I let people use it. To me, that's gratifying. I mean, I said, hey, send my 20 breeder females and donate them for US ARC. And he didn't want to do that and everything. I'm like, there you go, community. He doesn't support it. I didn't want a black eye on the community. But since then, other than that, I do it so if I can help people. If anybody hears anything, when we go to shows like the one where you were right across from us, we were just sitting there laughing. We were talking about stories from 15 years ago and people smuggling lizards in their fake leg and all sorts of shit. And I think that's cool. I think people should hear that. And like I said, I want to make other people the star. I I don't know. I just want people to hear that. I want, just like I said, how people talk crap now and people just listen to them. They don't make their own judgment. They don't. No one ever stops to realize if. See, it's hard. Justin's an introvert. He doesn't talk. But Ozzy, if Ozzy said, "Oh, Ozzy and Levance," like that's drama. That's them calling each other, saying because of pricing. That our community doesn't need. But if Ozzy says, "Oh, he's a joke," like how many people are just going to go, "Oh yeah, Ozzy said," and they're never going to go stop and give that person a chance. So that's what I want. I just want to bring a lot of people on there, let people see who they really are, and tell some stories. And hey, every episode, if one person learns something, or it's worth it. And if I ever get paid, I'm just going to give it all to US ARC. So it's even better,
Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that.
Mm.
I don't know. Like,
Unless I become poor and homeless.
Yeah.
Then I'll keep the money.
Hopefully that's never the case. That would be a bad day.
No. Well, I'm not that entertaining, so I don't really see it.
I think you are.
Yeah.
They're here for you. They're not here for me. Well, I mean, hopefully they're here for me a little bit, but pretty sure most of the crowd here tonight is for you.
No, it's your show. I'm just here.
But yeah. So essentially, like we've gone everywhere tonight.
Yeah. Well,
hopefully that fire yellow belly Desert Ghost Clown potentially happens this year. My Monarch female just hit size, so I'm waiting to see if the male will produce sperm because he's sitting at around 400 grams, 500 grams, right? Well, I don't know. I don't really weigh. I just go off of size and what they're showing.
Right.
Like I weigh if it's like probably 2-3 times a year, but not like I do it off of the females. I'm not so worried about the males because all of my
Right.
pairings are like 1, maybe 2 females, and that's all you're gonna get. So
Yeah.
they're sized. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong for that. I know people like that in their records, but it's not that important to me. I can essentially tell by the size. So
You know, I normally never kept a lot of records. I think
I think it's important, but you gotta.
like well in the
There's
early
for certain
2000s,
things.
I was like, "Ooh, got to keep records." And then at a certain point, I was like, "Well, wait a minute. I've never gone back 5 years and go, "Hey, who shit on this day?" Like I see people coming in going, "Oh, I got to record it. Urinated. Oh, it did this. It did that." I'm like, "Why?" Like I had a snake not eat for 8 months, and I just kind of kept track. I kind of knew like what month it ate, and I looked at it. And people don't realize if your snake is sick and it's not eating, it's going to lose weight. It's going to be a
Fact.
telltale sign. It looks like it's not healthy. If your snake doesn't eat, but it doesn't change, it looks healthy, it's okay. I mean, people stop. Animals hibernate. Animals do like a lot of stuff. I mean, obviously these don't brumate, but you know, I've had a snake eat and lay eggs the next day. I've seen pictures of somebody that fed an animal on eggs and it ate. And then you're going to have all these people saying, "Oh, it doesn't happen." Well, there's pictures. It happens.
They're wild animals.
Yeah, you can say this is the norm, but they all have their own personalities. I got some that are puppy dog tame, will sit there and love on you all day long. I got puzzles that will just fucking eat you.
Right.
Like they swear
They're
they're.
notorious for that, from
Oh
what I understand.
no, I have some that are actually pretty nice, but I've got some that I mean, I have people go, "Dude, that's like a freaking retic." Like you pull it out and it stalks you. I'm like, "No, my retics were nicer than that." And I literally have one. You put it away, and 10 minutes later, it's still hissing, and you're just like, "Why?" But that's just it. They all have their own individual personalities. You just your animals. You
Right.
got to get to know them. So I don't know. I mean, it's like you said. You don't have your ultrasound. You learn the animal. Same way it is with all these. You learn them. After years of breeding them, years of having them, you look at signs. You know when something's sick compared to just not eating off food. And people don't think about it. They're the first thing, especially on small snakes, they're like, "Oh, it's not eating," and then they go stuff something down its throat. Well, I hate to tell you, but you think that thing really wants to eat after that trauma you just did to it? Like, in some cases, it's necessary, but learn your animals.
Right.
So,
No, 100%. But those are my two. If I can even hit any more clutches, like I should have pastel Enchi yellow belly het clown combos coming, which I mean it's just basic, but it's stuff I'm looking at for the future, right? Um, and I'm really heavy into fire stuff. I'm really heavy into yellow belly stuff. So now I'm having to be a little bit more picky about what I'm doing or what I'm keeping because I'm going to create a bunch of white snakes if I don't watch out. And I realized that after this last year, and I was like, "Oh shit, I set up my collection wrong." but I wanted this, and it was really pretty at the moment.
But you're not. You just get the
Right.
right male, and you're okay. I mean, I think we all do that. I've got snakes right now that I've legitimately bought. I mean, like we said, I'm not new into this. You'd think I'd know. I always tell people, don't buy something because it's pretty. You know, I have stuff I've bought just within 6 months, and I'm like, why in the fuck did I buy it? I don't need it. It goes to nothing. I need to sell it. But no, I mean, yellow belly is such a good gene. I mean, I think it's the most versatile gene you can have. If you're trying to sell me a snake, if it has yellow belly, you got my attention more. Like you can tell me, oh, I got like Desert Ghost. I think Desert Ghost is a great gene. I don't have any. Why? I don't have room for any. My buddy Michael, the one he's my right-hand guy, been with me for 15 years, everything. He loves it. I had a pastel lesser Desert Ghost. This is stupid. This shows you how dumb I am. Had a pastel lesser Desert Ghost male. Like 7 years ago. I freaking traded it to Freedom Breeder for a banana pied. Like, yeah. Well, and you know the funny thing about it was, you know why I had that male? I bought it for my buddy because he wanted in the Desert Ghost. I hadn't even wanted in it at that time. I got it for him, and then he had to let go of his collection. He had some personal issues and moved up north in California, and that's why I got rid of it, or I would have left it for him. But yeah, I think it's great. I can't. I don't have the room. I've got so much stuff here. That's why I got rid of Monsoon. I don't have the room for another recessive. But yellow belly, all day long. Yeah, you tell me something has yellow belly, now my ears are perked up a little.
That's one of the things I did. Like I looked at Desert Ghost stuff for years and years and years. I was like, no. And then I bought the ARS, and I was like, well, I have more space. What's a recessive I want to wear?
Yeah.
And then that recessive ended up showing potential. Like I got really good deals on the stuff that's Het Clown and Het Desert Ghost. So I was like, well, there's my double right away. And now what do I want to push into it to turn it into a triple once I get that visual? And blah, blah, blah. Like, you know how it works. Like your mind starts racing. But
yeah,
it's like the next couple of years, once everything hits size, it's gonna absolutely shoot off. And it's just like we were saying, it's a patience game until then. And the day it shoots off, I'm probably not gonna know what to do with myself. Like I'm if people watch the video for my first ever clutch, I was like hopping up and down, and you couldn't fucking understand me because I was talking so fast. I was super excited. And like once all these hit size, and it's not that I'm not that way still with every clutch, but I'm like, okay, before I film, calm the fuck down. Like people need to understand what you're saying now, John. Like chill, it's okay. And or like we're shooting at 2:00 in the morning, so by the time we get there, I've been going for 18 hours, and it's like, I gotta get this on film before I fall asleep.
But see, that's the whole thing about it is you want that passion.
Yeah,
it's just like people say, like with the OFY, you know, what does it stand for? Oh fuck yeah. Why? Because I told myself when I tried the first chance for a super, I said, what am I gonna think if I cut that egg and I see something just incredible, something it just blows me away. And in my head, I just saw it with a big fist pump. Oh, fuck yeah. And I'm like, that's what you want. You don't want like, oh, yay. Like you want that emotion. And that's what this should bring, you know? And people don't realize that. If you're cutting a clutch, and when you cut that clutch, okay. I'm talking to everybody out there. If you cut the clutch and you're snipping, you look and you say, that's $4,000. you're breeding the wrong shit. You need that passion. You need to love what you're making. And it's like I said, I got all these animals behind me, and why am I doing it? For money and that? No. Like, yeah, I like money. It helps. I do a lot of trades. I am such a fucking lenient person. I'm a horrible businessman. But why am I doing triples? Why am I doing quadruples? Okay. I'm going to explain this to people right now. Why am I making quadruple hets? Because I want to be the first person ever to make it? No. Part of that $28,000, I got 1.2 triple het hypopuzzle pies. Brother, 2 sisters. Sean Bradley sold me 1.2 triple het hypoexanthic puzzle. Brother, 2 sisters. Why am I making quad hets? Because I want unrelated breedings. I'm not doing it because of money. I'm doing it because I don't want to breed brother to sister. So I'm got a lightning pie going to a hypo puzzle, and that's it. You can't look at it. If you look at it for money, the money's going to go away. Because I guarantee you, and everyone's done it. Even I do it. I'll look at what something is worth as I'm going to post it on Morph Market, and I'll say, okay, what are these going for? I look, I go, wow, they're that cheap. Everything's going to be that cheap. So if you're doing it for the money, you're cutting the eggs and saying how much money you have, you're never going to be happy.
I don't know if you heard that, but there was a catastrophe with one of my children.
No.
That's why I was muted and like looking down. I'm texting my wife to make sure everything's good.
You got to go handle it?
No, we're good. We're good. She pulled down the shower curtain on her head and she's not happy about it.
No.
She's being a little kid.
That happens.
Yeah.
I know grown adults that do that shit.
So like every hotel room, I've almost done it. I don't know why. Like I have tile in my showers. Like I don't slip. I don't have any issues, but every freaking hotel shower that I'm in, I like got to grab the curtain or like grab a rail or something because when I go to step out, I always lose my footing.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
I'm going to tell you this here. I normally I don't think people don't know.
Is there some science behind this I don't know about or what?
I'm going to tell you, but let's like
lawsuit.
No, let's like mute it for everyone else so no one else hears
I can't
this.
do that.
But every Arlington, because I'm there for a couple days, and here's the thing. I know this is really going to shock people. Well, not much. I mean, if I was a woman, it would like totally create chaos on the planet. But I shit. And so if I'm in a place for a few days, I'm going to take a dump. And so every Arlington, dude, I am not smart enough to figure this out. I'm in my room. I'm sitting there taking a dump. I go to get up, and right in front of me, up on the wall, they have the towel holder.
Right.
And I'm usually, I know it's hard to believe, but I've usually had a drink or two. I hit my head so fucking hard on that thing. Dude, I don't know how I haven't broke that thing off the wall. I've literally got up, hit my head, and just been standing there going, oh, like it sobered me. I do it every freaking time. I don't think I'm not going to go to Arlington again.
Whoa. Take that blasphemy back.
It's something. I guess I'll just have to go shit at the show. Because I can't do it at my room. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, all right.
Now everyone knows.
Where do we go from here? Like,
I don't know. Snake shit.
I don't think people are really prepared for interviews with me.
I love it, man. It was like an open mic night, essentially. Like we just let whatever it went to go to.
It happens. Yeah.
Like it wasn't a big deal. It was more about just and like honestly, I kind of put you on the spot last minute, so I appreciate you for even coming on, man. Like I was like, hey, I need a guest. My guest canceled. Will you help me, Randy? I've wanted to have you on for a while. Help me.
No, I mean it's it's always good. I mean that's just the thing. If you're a real person, you can call me 5 minutes beforehand, and as long as I'm not busy doing something, it's not like you got to prepare. I mean, yeah,
I mean, a little bit. I want you to have some viewers on there. Oh, man. Oh, but yeah, there's definitely we're gonna have to do a round two. These are we didn't even dive into half the things I wanted to talk about. We just kind of went off into our own little wormhole, which I think makes the best episodes anyways. Like I don't like those structured, okay, I'm going to ask this question and this question and this question and this question. And it does, like, I don't know. Like either you hear the same question so much that you don't want to listen to it anymore.
yeah,
Like episode after episode, or you've heard that person answer that question from other people so many times that it's just like, fuck, man. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to hear this anymore. And
Well,
it makes it boring, and it makes it harder
yeah,
for the guest or the host. Like, hopefully you can make it fun, but at the end of the
yeah,
day, like, everyone wants something new.
right.
And I think the best part, I've said it a lot of times, I think the best part is getting to know the people themselves. That's what really builds your brand. Like, that's put out your snakes, like do your stuff, but let us know who you are as a person. Like
Yeah.
that's what really builds you.
Well, like we said, you hear stuff from different people, but when you actually get to see someone, you can kind of go, "Oh, you know what? Maybe that guy isn't that bad. Let's give him a shot." Like, okay, this is him. Like, you can tell when something is staged, and you can kind of get that standpoint. You know, I mean, that's why I like these. I like shooting off the hip because people say like with me, yeah, I'm kind of a goofball. You never know where it's going to go. I'm like, so I mean, what did I tell you? I'm like, pretty much nothing's off limits. Like, just
Right.
whatever. And
Absolutely.
I'm just I have to be real. If I'm not, I mean, well, then I'm being fake. I don't want to be fake. I'd rather have people not like me for being real than people like me for being fake.
Absolutely. So
So,
this is the one thing I do like to kind of this I said I hate asking the same questions, but this is the one question I really do like to ask everybody
go ahead.
because it's something that's constantly running through my mind, right? It's like we all want to better the industry. We all want to prepare the next generation because like I'm not old, but I'm not young, right? There's people that are going to come in that are much younger than me, and I
Hmm.
need I need to do something to make sure they're more successful than me. That's the way I look at it. Is
Right.
like the generation that I bring in and the people that I'm eventually mentor, like, and there's some people here locally that I mentor because they're teenagers and they're just learning about keeping, which I
Yeah.
understand now, so I can help them in that aspect. But those coming into the industry or just getting into reptiles in the first place, what would be your how do I put this your strongest piece of advice for those just starting out, whether they want to make it a business or just like hang out within the industry?
The one thing I've seen more than anything throughout my time is, you know, I go back to the saying, if it works for you, it works for you. I've seen, you don't know how many ways there are to incubate an egg. Like I've told people before, my first incubator was a 10-gallon fish tank with water. I had two bricks, the little like octagon red
Mm-hmm.
bricks that sat the eggs in a just plastic dishware up above it, and I had a fish tank heater in it. I mean, that was my first incubator ever. You know, I tell people there's different ways to do everything, and the most misinformation I see is now on Facebook. Um, there's groups for beginners, and everything they tell them is geared to what they believe. There's 10 different ways. Like the big thing is like bedding and misting and all that. I hate to tell you, I'm in San Diego, a little bit different climate than New York. In Washington is a little bit different than what John has down in Texas. And people don't stop to think about that. They tell you what works for them. And if you don't do it their way, you're just dumb, you're stupid. Do your research and collect data and find out what works for you. I'll say this right now. Here's one it's actually kind of mind-blowing is, so like when I started, I always heard, pine is bad. You can't use pine for the snakes. It's bad for them. All my animals are on pine now. So I used aspen, and I've tried everything. I've tried Sanachip, didn't like it. It would fly everywhere. Little tiny pieces get into the animal's mouth when they're trying to eat. I used an aspen. It was a shaved aspen. I liked it at the time. I hadn't realized it, but thank God. Was it Pet 360 got absorbed by
no
some other place to buy.
We lost you.
Oh, you got me back?
Yeah, we lost you
okay.
for a second. Pet 360 got absorbed by.
Okay, well, good. At least it was like opposed. By some other bigger company, right. And so I quit buying it from them, and those were like shavings. They're like almost like little toothpicks, and they were good, but once they got bought out, I couldn't get the deal, so I went to Petco. I was getting aspen that was chipped, kind of like your pine is. Right. Liked it much better. I've tried cocoa bark. I've tried cypress. Tried everything. For my area, aspen was the best. Talked to quite a few breeders. Pine, if you kiln dry it, it's the oils that are bad for the animals. If you kiln dry them, it burns all the oils off, and you can actually use it for your reptiles. Thing I didn't like about cocoa bark or cypress being a darker wood, I didn't like the fact that when you pull you can see I have dark tubs. You pull them out, you cannot see the urates in the back. I about shit myself. First time I opened the tub, and it looked like cottage cheese in the tub. And I opened another tub, like over it way, and it looked like cottage cheese in the tub. I thought my collection was doomed. I thought everything was about to die. Like, that was it. Armageddon. We're done. And it was just bacteria. The urates. I couldn't see them. It held in the moisture too much. And so I didn't like it. That's why. Other places, it might be great. I'm not throwing shade at anything. Do what works for you. Pine has been the best thing I've done in the hobby in the last decade. It's a soft wood. It absorbs the urates much. People know I don't overfeed my animals. If you go open my tubs, if you see brown shit, it's a rarity. I have one that I'm like, how the hell did you shit that big? Like, I know I don't feed you that much. I feed on the smaller side because they don't go off feed. They feed all year long. Every week they're ready to eat. Anytime you open a tub and you see some big brown shit, that's what they didn't absorb. So that's how much more you fed them that you wasted. The pine absorbs the urates. Most of my tubs, you only get urates and you get a little calcium, which obviously is the teeth and the bones. It's great. Oh my God. It's so soft. It absorbs. I have less mess. I can clean it. oh my God, it's a godsend.
So do you get it? Do you get it prepared already, or do you kiln dry it yourself?
No, I get it from the where I get all the bedding for my rats because I breed all my own rats, and it's so much better. I get one bedding now. It's cheaper. It's all the same. I can go buy 20 bales of it because I can't do a big full pallet. I just don't have the room. But I'll go do 25 bags of it, and yeah, it's. But that just goes to show if you're new, talk to people that have been around. Don't talk to the cool kids, whatever. Get some knowledge.
Hey! Don't say that. I need people
Well,
to
you're
follow me.
cool, but you're not a cool kid.
I'm not a cool kid. I'm not.
No,
I'm an outcast, and I'm okay with that.
Okay, it's.
I'm just giving you a hard time, Randy.
Well,
that was straight just a hard
think
time.
about like, okay, when I say cool kids, think about like if the reptile community had a new kids on the block, would you be the one?
That's another perfect freaking pose. I love it.
I don't know where it froze. Hopefully it wasn't on my dance.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Wow. Yeah, see, if there's any other way to make me look stupid. Wow.
Dude, the screenshots from this is going to be amazing.
Dude, you know what? So funny thing, I actually had people message me and like what you did to promote it. And they're like, oh, you chose a good picture. I'm like, well, no, John did. And I go, I don't even know what that picture was from, but
you were hugging JT, I think. No, you were hugging John. You were hugging Johnny Gobble.
Okay.
And I cut Johnny out.
Oh, see, that would be it. That would be the passion in my eyes. That would be it. Yeah, see, I had no idea. I had people go, that was a good picture of you. I'm like, I don't even know what it was from.
You know how long I searched for a picture where you had a clear face because you're like Mr. Shakes a lot with your phone?
Am I?
I was gonna put our picture up and I was like, his face is fuzzy. Mine's clear for some reason, but his face is a little fuzzy.
No, dude, my face is normally fuzzy. People look at me like they're drunk. Yeah, I do that on purpose. It fucks people up. Makes you wonder. See, now you're going to put a good picture of me and people are going to be like, who is that?
No, I'm going to put one of the ones where it freaking it froze and you're mid-action shot.
You got to wait.
I didn't have it set to action mode.
I'll do another one where I'm holding my leg and doing it, and, doing the sprinkler or something. Yeah.
I don't know. We made it through the episode without Captain Underpants, so
yes,
that was gonna be the screenshot.
That was gonna be the
Captain Underpants strikes again.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. I mean,
oh no! Here it comes. Oh, it froze. No. No, you got to do it again. It froze.
Oh, wait,
you froze again. You froze coming out of the chair.
Oh, God, you're killing me. I didn't even pull my
Hold on. No, wait. That's too low. You need to move to your left.
To my left?
Yeah, move to your left. There you go. You're good now. All right. Now that Captain Underpants struck, y'all give Randy some love. We're gonna for sure have him on for round 2. A lot of people from before this podcast are eventually gonna get their round 2s. We're gonna just keep rolling these. Next week, I will have Jeremy and potentially his lovely wife from Bod's Exotic Reptiles. So make sure you tune in for them.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. He's a good guy.
He is. I love that dude. He's part of our 15 minutes of lame alumni. So still trying to make my rounds through there. Someone I really enjoy talking to. So should be a really good episode.
Good.
Randy, bro, I thank you for your time. I thank you for doing this last minute.
No worries, man.
You're
I
the
was
man.
actually honored you asked me.
I've been thinking about it for a while, man. I was just like, he's always going places, and he seems like he's always busy. And
Yeah,
we haven't really had that in person, and I like the in person. I like to feel someone out before I bring them on. But
yeah. So,
but
no,
yeah.
I'm glad you did. This is good.
Hell yeah. All right, guys, give him some love. If you don't follow him and tell him you came from outside the clutch. And if you do follow him, tell him you want to see his underpants. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you next week.
Take care.